And boom! Welcome to the pool. I blew up your house. I'm Benny the Comicstorian. Joining me today are my usual hosts. We have Joel from the mighty Caped Joel universe. It is a multiverse of food shows and amazing goatees that he can't properly trim. Over on to my left, leftish, we have got Sal from the Comic Pop multiverse, where Santa invades their comic book reviews.
It's true, he does sometimes.
Friggin' Santa.
It's pretty sweet.
And our guest host for today is... I don't even know what accent it's supposed to be.
What is that? Brother Nero.
It's the Tommy Wiseau accent from The Room. Like, it's vaguely Eastern European, but you really don't know.
No.
Maybe he spent some time in New Orleans. I don't know.
Anyway, our special guest of today...
That's just a stroke. That's not an accent.
Is the lovely, the beautiful, the wearing a Lolita outfit in Dallas, Texas, Sea Monster.
Yeah, you're making us all feel really underdressed here. You know, she's like all to the nines and everything.
Wearing a top
I
hat.
sacrifice everything for style.
Do
you guys
you
need
ever,
to pick it up.
Do you ever just throw on like some sweats?
I have two modes, and it's either dress to the nines or fucking gremlin. like at work yesterday, I was in like jeans and my work sanctioned polo shirt, coding and eating Doritos Dos Locos tacos while reading comic book summaries.
I'm gonna go to Dallas, Texas, just to see you in your work sanctioned polo shirt and jeans, eating Dos Locos tacos, cheese like gunk all over your face. Yeah.
Cheese fucking everywhere. Like I got some all over my pink polo shirt.
It's kind of like a secret identity thing where it's like no one must know what I really am and what I really do.
There was somebody who recognized my purple hair, and they were like, Caitlin? And I was like, no, it's another bitch with purple hair. Get out.
like a raccoon digging
Do
through
your
the garbage.
coworkers know your normal attire?
They have no idea.
So you're basically a superhero. You're living a double life complete with costumes.
I have a secret plebeian code monkey identity in my IT department.
By day, she's mild-mannered Caitlin McAtee, but by other times, she's the sea monster.
Ralph Cramden.
Wait, Ralph
my
Cramden?
desk is
What?
covered in,
Ralph
like, Honey
Cramden.
Bun wrappers and Twinkies.
Exactly.
All right, well,
Ralph
Cramden,
Cramden
we've completely encroached on your promotion time, but why don't you tell people who you are?
Yeah.
Hi guys, I'm that sea monster on my chancel.
I want a
Like a
chancel.
Chancel and Gretel.
I tried to say channel, but it didn't work. On my chancel, Sea Monster Comics, I do comic book reviews and a fantastic late night show called Bedtime Stories, where it's a virtual sea monster party, a virtual slumber party with me, the sea monster that lives under your bed. This is a terrible promotion that's going about as well as my live stream went last night. It was fantastic. If you want to see more of this fucking train wreck, you should go to my Sea Monster Comics and follow me on Instagram and Twitter at that Sea Monster for things.
Yeah.
Well said.
Wow.
Thanks.
I've got to give it. I think that was the best promotion that we've ever seen here on
Clearly
the Ball.
best opening.
You're taking the cake on this one. All right,
Yeah.
guys.
I know. I've won everything. It's competency and quality throughout my entire life, I can assure you.
All right, guys. Well, today's episode is also brought to you by Sal's Beard Oil. If you want a groomed beard as well as Sal's, then you need to purchase Comic Pop's official Sal's Beard Oil. Now available on the Comic Pop store. And Benny's book while you're at it. The Comicstorian book, where you can purchase that at the link I'm putting into the chat right now. Right there. That is the pre-order. The book comes out the 28th, and we talk about all your favorite comic book movies. Don't forget to get Sal's Beard Oil and Benny's book.
Yeah.
You know, some people are going to actually go to the website and be like, oh, what's there no link to buy the oil? I want the
Use the oil.
I want the
You
beard
can make
oil.
your own in the bathtub.
It's like a bathtub mint Jula.
You should make that. Sal's Beard Oil. I will pay you to have your label put on beard oil.
We make really cool T-shirts, and people barely buy those.
Oh.
Instead of Suavecitos, it should be Salvecitos.
You should put it in like an old
So
tonic
as
bottle, like The Simpsons.
Somebody
Yeah.
said Benny with the shade, and I'm like, yeah, it's a really good thing none of us wore sunscreen because here comes Benny with the shade.
Oh,
What? Oh.
wrecked.
All right, guys, as usual, for those of you who are joining us for the first time, the first thing that we always do is run through all of the comic books that came out this week. And my lovely hosts get to try and do the thingy with the thingy. They get to try and make fun of all of the names of these books as we go through them. Bear in mind, making fun of the book does not mean we hate the book or despise the book. It means that the name was funny. That's simply it.
Yeah.
We're just literally judging books by their cover.
It's literally what we're doing, judging books by their cover. And let's go ahead and begin that. We're starting off
I
with...
judge everything harshly by
This
first
is all
impression.
the books that came out on Wednesday. By the way, for those of you guys who are wondering, there are other books that come out on other days. Like Injustice comes out on Tuesdays. So check out your
What?
check out your local comic book store or your digital retailer. Anyway, what'd you say? What to Injustice?
Well, just like, I guess because digital,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The digital books come out all weird. So
that's messed
Yeah,
up.
they always played by different rules, the
Yeah.
digitals.
Way to mess up the whole rhythm, everybody.
they do, because
It
you always
makes me
forget
so
it comes
mad
out.
that I can't just go on one day and pick up everything.
Yeah.
That's how it's always been.
All right. So we got
I know.
Abe Sapien, Action Comics 959, Adhesive Man,
And
Man of glue.
Yeah.
you
Adhesive
throw him
Man.
up against the wall and he sticks, and then he
Why are you
slides
so
really slowly
sticky,
back.
Adhesive Man? Why so sticky?
The Adventures of Miru, Adventure Time, Agent 42. We have the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Civil War II tie-in, Alien Legion, Alien Legion 2, Alien Legion 3, Alien Legion 4, Alien Legion 5. If you want the
Jeez.
first arc, it all came out yesterday.
Oh.
We have All New X-Men, which is a part of that Apocalypse War tie-in that I don't think anyone's
It's
reading anymore.
almost done. It's almost done. These are the
I-
penultimate issues. They're almost done.
I'm just tired of seeing it at comic book stores at this point. Like, I read the first 3, and then I table flipped it into a fireplace.
What a poor idea for an event and to include all 3 of the main X-Men books in
Oh,
it.
yeah. Archangel, which is not the Archangel you are probably thinking when I say the name Archangel. Archie's Funhouse, Army of Darkness, Furious Road, Aspen
I-
Universe Revelations, and I think
I heard that as Archie's Funhouse Army of Darkness.
Man, Archie got dark in the last couple issues.
that comic that I still can't pronounce, but the subtitle is Mirrored Law. Aether and Empire, Back to the Future, Birthright, Blade Bunny. I'm not gonna lie. Every week that Blade Bunny comes out, I put it in my cart and look through the first few pages and go, "Why do I keep looking at this?"
Why does this bunny
It
have
sounds
brains?
really good. Like, it sounds like the little bunny that's from Diva's logo is
Yeah.
going to start cutting people with razor blades.
It does.
But
It's like a
say-
manga release. Yeah.
The artist on Blade Bunny, I actually worked with them. They drew a page or two
Nice.
in my comic.
Aw.
Bloodshot Reborn, Volume 3, Bravest Warriors. That looks so cute.
Bravest Warriors.
The Bunker,
Like, you
Burning
can watch
Fields,
me-
California Bones, Defender, Champions. How is Champions gonna? What is
It's
that gonna
not. It's probably not the same thing.
I was gonna say, what are they gonna do
You're-
when theirs comes out though? Anyway, Charge, the children of Captain Granite's adventure in the mountains with the lion.
You got right in there.
Sabrina, the chilling adventures of Sabrina, that damned cat. Civil War II, issue number 3. Amazing Spider-Man, Civil War II. Civil War II, Choosing Sides, which I may try again thanks to the fact that it seems to have Moon Knight in this one.
Oh, prepare to be disappointed. I read it.
Oh!
Gods of War, Civil War II. That's the Herc storyline that I was liking. Commando, Commando, and page 2. Commando. Conan the Slayer.
Realist.
Mando these days.
Conan the Slayer, which is actually a biopic of me.
It's the real true story of Benny, as he is also known.
Right.
I like how it's the true story of Benny.
Yeah,
Like, no
Benny the
title,
Slayer.
no
They
name.
just said that Benny the Slayer wouldn't sell, so we had to rename me to Conan. Cyberpuff, Daredevil, guest starring the Amazing Spider-Man. What? What did I miss on
Really,
that?
they really actually put guest starring in there. I mean, I know he was, but they put guest starring in the
Yeah.
title.
Then we have Here Comes Daredevil, The Dark Bloody, The Drawing of the Three, Deadpool 15. I've supposedly a Civil War tie-in, but I don't
It
freaking
is.
believe it.
Yeah, it is, but it's like whatever.
It's him fighting the mercs for money before they eventually get spun off into their own
Oh.
thing.
Oh, okay. Descender, Batman Detective Comics number 936. The Disgruntled Avenger. Wait, that is not Marvel. That's
That's
probably
not me.
Who
They
would
don't
be
own
the
the word
most
Avenger, Benny.
disgruntled?
Huh?
They don't own the word Avenger. For
My
a
bad.
long time in the 90s, we had to like sit through that awful Emma Peel Avengers movie with what's his name, Sean Connery. And
Oh yeah.
I remember they were like, "We're making an Avengers movie." I'm like, "Yes!"
Not
And
the
then I
ones
saw it,
you
I'm
like, though.
Oh, the show.
Not
right.
the right Avengers, though. The knockoff bootleg Avengers that you see in Times Square. Those ones.
Yeah.
Hey, but if you want to see Sean Connery in a bear suit, there's no better place to go than that Avengers
Yes.
movie.
I want to see everybody in a bear suit. Like, bear suits are my fucking thing.
All right, well, we got the Doctor Who, the 4th Doctor, the Doctor Who, the 10th Doctor, the Doctor Who, the 10th Doctor, Volume 3. Maybe I'll start reading that. I've kind of got like a man crush in David Tennant. Anyway, the Drood.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, I was going to say, who
Has a
doesn't?
crush on David Tennant.
Probably Jessica Jones doesn't have a crush on him.
Oh yeah.
Jessica Jones doesn't have a crush on anybody.
Dungeons and Dragons, The Shadows of the Vampire, Drusu, The Earth 2 Society, number 14. I really want to read that because I think that's the end of it, isn't it?
Apparently, it's still going. Apparently, they solicited new ones after this.
Oh,
I know.
A few of those stories are just, they're kind of ignoring Rebirth. They're just like, we're still
Yeah.
going. Elves volume, that looks really pretty. I'm going to add that to my book and have a look at that.
Ooh.
The Eye of the Majestic Time Clock. I can't read all of this, but it's volume number 3. The First Hero. Flare Flash issue 2. The Flash issue 2 cover art looks nothing like a Flash book. I've looked at that a dozen times and been like, what the hell? Why did I buy this? Anyway.
It
Frontlines
looks like
Requiem.
something from Static Shock, to be totally honest.
Hey, there's a comic called Gold Digger. Is it about a couple girls I know? Anyway, Gold Key, Goldie Vance, Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's fired.
What was that we said earlier about throwing shade?
Gwenpool, Hal Jordan, and the Green Lantern's Rebirth, which, oh my god, I will get to that in a minute. That is everything I freaking wanted out of that book. Anyway,
that's good.
Horror County, The Haunted, Heavy Metal with a girl's legs spread, add to cart.
So heavy metal.
Heavy
Heavy
Metal
Metal
with a
all
bunny
time.
girl, Hip Hop Family Tree, that is probably not a book for me. That rhymed.
Nice.
Horizon,
You're on your way.
House of Penance, Insexed. Okay, has anyone read the Aftershock Insects book? Because I've been hearing a lot about it and a lot
No.
of good. So
I've
no
also
one's
been
reading it, but apparently it's amazing. Got it.
Yeah. Go
Yes.
figure.
That's usually how it goes.
Judge Dredd, Kong, Legends of Oz, TikTok, something. That looks really badass. Looks like TikTok's about to punch someone in the face.
TikTok don't take no mess from no man.
Line Ruin, Lumberjanes. Oh, I didn't get that one on my card. Okay. Lumberjanes Gotham Academy crossover. Luna Vampire, The Marvel First, Marvel Now. Does anyone care at this point? Guardians of the Galaxy based on the cartoon. Guardians of the Galaxy based on something else. I don't know. It's not in the main continuity. We'll just go with it. The Max, Mayhem and Magic, Elric, The Mighty Zodiac, Miller World. Oh! Miller World Annual. I'm going to add that to the cart.
Is Miller World Frank Miller World?
Yeah,
Is
no.
that where we-
It's Mark Miller. So Kick-Ass,
Oh.
Hit Girl,
Yeah.
all that stuff in that universe he made.
Oh, cool.
Mirror. Okay, here we go again. Moleki, The Last of the Amish. Add to cart.
Whoa, that is a
Oh, well,
must
the last
read.
of them.
But where did
The
all
cover
the Amish
shows
go?
an Amish guy with a knife.
Who published that? Who published Last of the Amish?
I'm looking right now. Monster
I-
Elementary, that's another one. Last of the Amish is published by Hangar 67.
Okay, here's the thing. So obviously the Amish can't like watch TV or this show or anything, but can they read comics? Would
They
they
can
get
read
a kick
comics.
out of the Last of the Amish? Can they?
Monster Musume, which by the way, I thought was a harmless TNA manga until I read it, and that is not a harmless TNA. That is just TNA.
TNA or a day.
Or a day or a thing.
I was like,
There's-
Monster Musume, it's quite popular. That might do good on the channel. Let me check this one out. And I'm like, it looks like a family-friendly but TNA-oriented, just fan service. No, it's like the whole book is fan service.
It's an ecchi. It's just fan service all the time. It's panty shots. It's boobs in your face.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
oh my, I lost my top. Oh no.
The debate, like, there's a debate
Again.
half the time
My
who's
top, Jessica.
half the debates in the manga are are big boobs better or are little boobs with a tight butt better? What would this guy enjoy? But he has to
Oh,
have
yeah.
all these women in his house and pick one to marry.
Yep, harem anime is total trash, but it is really popular, and a lot of the like kawaii ugu moe blob looking things that's going to be fan servicey as fuck. But you'll be like, oh my gosh, it's like Card Capture Sakura. It's so kawaii, it's so small, so adorable. No, titties everywhere.
Well, on that note, add to cart. And Monster World,
You sold them on it.
Morning Glories, Miss Marvel Masterworks. That is not the Kamala Khan. That is the classic Miss Marvel before she became captain. Civil War II, New Avengers. That I didn't see that cover art. That looks insane. Okay, well,
good.
New Superman Rebirth, Nexus the comic strip, Nightwing Rebirth, Ninjak. Ninjak's awesome, by the way, and the storyline going on right now is like everything about him has just been destroyed. They basically burned him, and it's so cool.
The old Matt Murdock special.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Nutmeg, Old Man Logan, Pale Dark. Is that a racist book? The Big Concha.
I don't know.
Paybacks, Phantom. Phantom, really?
Oh, yeah, I guess they're still making Phantoms.
Pink Panther.
Finally.
Panther.
Power Man and Iron
sober
Fist. That's the one. The Powerpuff Girls comic. Princeless. Prometheus, the Protectress, Puppet Master, the Queen of the Vampires. Dude, she is literally just wearing a tassel. That's all she's wearing on her boob.
Look, when you're a queen of the vampires, you can wear whatever you want.
Apparently that'll pass all the age gate that's on Comicsology. Anyway, Ragnarok, Rainbow in the Dark, Revisionist, Rick and Morty, the Little Poopy Superstar.
Yes, it's a one shot about Mr. Poopy Butthole and everything that's going on with.
Finally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is. Robin Hood, Rocket Raccoon and Groot issue 7. What? I didn't get that in my thing. Oh, what?
Why don't I have this?
Yeah, why don't I have that?
I'm a
Rose
completionist.
Rough Riders issue 4. That sounds like a gay porn. Satellite Falling.
About presidents, actually.
It's what?
It's about presidents, actually, and the actual historical Rough Riders.
Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? That's the proper one, not the Scooby-Doo Apocalypse.
Right.
The Shadow, Sherlock, Silk, Sinbad, and The Merchant. I can't read it. Sinners
Of
2,
Venice.
The Fall of Man, Something Animal, Sonic Universe, Southern Bastards, Space
That came
Battle
out.
Lunch.
Oh man, how have I not read that yet?
It's
Add
the
that to my
volume 3.
cart.
No, it's the thing for it.
That one has a weird release history. I got all excited for a second.
I found out Image Comics release 6 issues at a time, and then they take 3 to 4 months off to promote their trades.
Oh.
That's why.
I had no idea that was their
I
format.
didn't know it either until somebody explained that to me. That's their tactic.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I guess it's a good system, but I want to read my bastards
Well,
now.
you got to think about it. It gives the writers time to recharge creatively, and they're not just trying to pump them out just for the sake of doing it. You know?
True.
Well, yeah. And especially for an indie publisher that relies very heavily on very high quality, very particular, and very specific niche content, that's very important. So I like it. I think
And they don't put out a lot of stinkers, which is true. I mean, every Southern Bastards I've read have been like, man, this has been a 10 on 10 perfect issue. That's
a
why.
lot of what Image puts out is really high quality. There have been very few Image comics that I've opened up and have been, this was a waste of my life.
Yeah.
All right, Lunchtime, Space Battle Lunchtime, Space Brothers, Spider-Woman, wow, that came out quick. The book for Spider-Woman.
Oh,
Did it just not sell? And they're like, fuck it, put it in the book.
I think that's the
Yes.
new Marvel thing now. They got a good turnaround rate for that. Like Pleasant Hill came out pretty quick after that was done.
That's true, yeah. Star Trek 2011. Yeah, Pleasant Hill had all the tie-ins for it, which made it super confusing. Anyway, Star Trek, The New Visions, Steam Wars always sounds awesome until I start looking at it, and it just doesn't sound as good. Steam Wars, Gear Jammer, Strayer, Strip for Me, add to cart, Stumptown, okay, another one that literally just has a nude woman on the cover, Tarot Cards.
Tarot, yeah.
Tarot,
yeah.
Witch of the Blades. Teach English.
Which
Not which
English-
blade, but which of the blades.
Which I'm sure is involved with Tarot, Witch of the Black Forest, which was another absolutely shameless TNA comic that Joel doesn't know anything about. Stop asking.
What are you talking about? I add that crap to my card all the time. Anyway, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This one's the one based on the Nickelodeon cartoon. Terra Flats, Totally Awesome Hulk Volume 1 came out. Tower Chronicles, The Untamed. The Violet Vision issue number 9. Voltron Legendary. I don't know. It's a new Voltron comic. I want to read it.
It's based in the new Netflix show.
Is it? What?
Yes.
Why are you turning into a robot?
Because I am Voltron. This is what
Voltron does not do
does.
this.
he does in this movie.
Voltron. He's a little different.
I'm the
Wacky
Canadian
Raceland, issue
Voltron.
number
Eh?
2. Weavers, Web Warriors. I kind of dropped it, but I kind of want to read it again when you got Spider-Ham with Spider-Ham 2099 on the cover. The Wicked and the Divine, number 21. Old Man Logan, Wonder Woman Rebirth, Wonderland, Wraith Redux. This is written by the guys that do the great comic Lady Mechanica. I haven't read it yet, but I'm assuming it's good because he did a great job
Lady Mechanica is good shit.
Oh, I love that comic.
Good shit.
Wrath of the Eternal Warrior, the X-Files.
Wow.
X-Files. Yes, Roya. What the hell is that? And good luck with me pronouncing it. UI. It's Y-I-U. Go.
Yeah, just
Someone
you.
Get it right.
Just
Yeah,
you. Y-I-U?
you.
Yeah.
You?
Yeah, it's just you.
So I'm the only one that can't get it right. Got it. All right, cool, whatever. And on that note, we have gone over every comic that came out today. Do we have any viewers left? Oh, we surprisingly do. Every time we get through that list, I'm always like, I'm going to go look back at the Twitch page and be like, 2 people being like, stop. Just stop.
If you manage to stick in this long, nothing can disgust you.
Yeah.
Was discuss the right word?
Meh.
That comic list was absurd and obscene.
I can't believe you read the comics that came out. Now I know what's out there and I have to buy things.
Fucking disgusting, shameless plugs, you goddamn sellout.
You have insulted my honor, sir. I challenge you to a duel.
By the way,
the chat is actually asking Sal.
TNA comic again?
Real quick, Sal, the chat is asking what is the Screen Junkies thing. I think you explained it before, but since now it's prominent, why don't you go ahead and explain
All
it
right. Yeah, I have it on my. I got some new frames for the office and everything. At Wizard World Philly, Movie Fights was doing a live competition, and I was asked to be one of the guest fighters. And as a consolation prize, I took this voting mechanism they used, which was just a big Screen Junkies like card, and I had Dan Murrell and the gang from there signed it for me.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
It's a nice piece.
it was fun.
Sounds
I've been
good.
invited back, so we'll see if I actually go to LA and do it.
Wicked.
You did so well, we want to see you again.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Go do it.
In that, wait, what did I add to my cart in this one? Because this one says I added 10 things to my cart during that read.
You probably just added all the books you read.
Benny's quite the impulse
Universe,
buyer.
Daredevil, Elves Volume 7, Lumberjanes, Miller World, Last of the Amish, Monster Masune, Rick and
Oh, you
Morty.
picked up Last of the Amish, huh?
Yeah, I got it. I apparently put it in here. Voltron and Groot. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Those are all necessary, too, especially Monster Musume.
Monster Musume.
I need them all for work.
Why don't, Caitlin, I think that you and I need to start a secondary show in which we live read Monster Masune.
Oh my god, can we?
You'll be all the girls'
voices.
voices, I'll be all the guys' voices, and we'll just see how this goes.
This will be fantastic.
If you guys
I
want,
can
if you guys want, the weekly poll will start doing live reads of your favorite manga and comics, and we'll just see what happens.
Yeah.
We should absolutely do it.
Hey, you should put some effort into that. Make them like radio plays and everything. Have like sound effects and like a radio soundboard for when stuff pops off.
I believe in that. I think cheesy monster sounds would be great.
Oh my
You
god,
make
everyone's
the
like,
edgy
yes,
noises.
yes.
A lot of people going, "Oh my god, yes."
I don't think I could live read female voices though. All right, so then let's go ahead and hit the new books that came out this week, the ones that we're going to be talking about, which are primarily the DC Rebirth and the Civil War ones. It's kind of, if you've been with us the last few weeks, you know that's primarily what we're talking about during this entire basically run of comics. So
Yeah.
There's not much else to talk about, really. We can go through some Valiant ones and stuff like that. I'm digging those, but like we're primarily looking at these. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's go ahead and open up with one Civil War 2, issue number 3.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
So
What an
also
issue.
keep in mind, it's kind of all holds barred when it comes to the Rebirth and the Civil War titles. We normally will refrain from doing spoilers, but today that is not the case with Rebirth and Civil War. We do like to discuss them in full, which makes for a longer episode, more engaging for you guys, but there are spoilers.
Yeah.
Be forewarned.
Yeah. Okay, so Civil War 2. This one's got in the cover. It's got the Hulk tearing Tony Stark apart, which doesn't happen at all.
Nope. Misleading covers.
Vision. It did happen,
It was
but
the
in
Vision,
another
yeah.
reality where they didn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So
Awesome.
if you've been following Civil War 2, basically we've got an Inhuman that allows them to see the future, and they're using that to prevent particular events. The end of Civil War 2, issue number 2, what we discovered was an apocalyptic event is that the Hulk was going to Hulk out and kill everyone. So
Yep.
this issue starts at the ending at a trial and then tells you how we got there.
Yep.
They went to Bruce Banner.
And shit popped off.
Basically, they said what they're doing, and then Hawkeye killed them. There you go.
Yeah, they basically went, we want to make sure you're not going to pop off, Bruce, and then we're going to make you pop off almost so that Hawkeye takes you out.
Yeah.
Enjoy that.
What a poorly handled situation where it's like, Bruce, buddy, we don't want you to freak out, but we brought the entire superhero community here to where you're hiding.
And
they're
all
not
really
even hiding
aggressive
off to
about
the
it.
side where we can call them all in. They are going to stand right in front of you, right here, just in case you Hulk out.
Now, we don't want to stress you out, buddy, but you're going to kill us all.
Who thought that was a good idea? It's mind-bogglingly asinine, that fucking idea.
There was a lot of poor planning in that situation.
For me, I assumed that what happened was Stark was like, I'm going to go and deal with it. And Carol's like, no, well, I'm going to go. And then they tried to beat each other there, and they kept getting more and more people on each other's teams to get there until they all convened. Like, okay, if we're all going to be here, we might as well all be on the same page.
So basically, you've just written issue 2.5.
Yeah, that's 2.5. That's my tie-in.
Carol needs to fucking stop sometimes. Just the way that escalated, because she got it all up in her twist that she was like, no, I have to go too, and my entire fucking posse. Instead of Tony just being like, I'll go, he's a real good friend of mine, he'll be calm with me. She was like, no, I think I should go, and then I should poke him with a stick while I'm there.
It's weird. Oh, sorry, God.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to add, and maybe beat him about the ear, nose, and throat a little bit, and really freak him out.
Oh, yeah.
Also, discontinuity, the Banner we see here is in a different place and doing different stuff than the Banner we saw at the end of the last couple totally awesome Hulks. Clearly, Ben just didn't read what Pac was writing.
Nope, didn't care.
There's a reason my favorite phrase is Honey Bendis don't give a fuck, because Honey Bendis
really
does not
didn't
care what anybody else did.
No,
He really didn't.
You know what? I want to rant about this for a minute. Because I get it. Bendis is the genius that fixed so many problems and made the Avengers popular and all this other stuff.
His
Where
name
does
is
he get
Gold,
off completely ignoring Mark? How hard would it have literally been to just in the background had a piece of paper or something that basically said Amadeus Cho was or is the Hulk over here, and this takes place elsewhere?
Because Honey Bendis don't give a fuck. You can't
because
make
he doesn't
Honey Bendis
care.
do the goddamn thing Honey Bendis don't want to do.
Also, too, he writes so many things. He writes stuff months, sometimes years in advance. So don't be shocked if he wrote this months before the Greg Pak stuff happened and said, well, I'm not changing it.
Yeah, I'm not changing that. I mean, like, look at the Age of Ultron thing when Superior Spider-Man was happening, and he's like,
perfect example.
Nah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, fine, you wrote it forever ago. Why didn't an editor come in and say, "Can we literally just put a single line that just said, dude, how hard would it have been for Banner to be like, I haven't been the Hulk in a year because Amadeus Cho is the Hulk, but I've been feeling like it might come on, so I'm doing these experiments." How hard would that have been?
I get the
It
feeling
wouldn't have been hard at all, but Honey Bendis don't give a fuck. It is totally maddening because you want to like Bendis and you want to like his writing, and
he does great stuff.
I agree with Benny on this, but it's so frustrating the way he completely disregards continuity.
Here it was especially egregious because the tie-ins to Civil War II for Totally Awesome Hulk are Bruce Banner Hulk-related stories.
Exactly, and it says Civil War. That's what irritates me. If they had said, fine, whatever, okay, fine, you don't want to tie in Totally Awesome Hulk, don't put the goddamn Civil War II logo on his fucking book! Like, how the fuck? It's the Civil War II tie-in, but in Civil War II, Amadeus Cho ain't there. We don't even get a mention. No, Banner's the goddamn Hulk.
It was really egregious this time.
Honey Bendis but putting it on the cover will make me sell more, so I'm just not going to give a fuck, and I'm going to put it on the cover anyway.
That is the shameless thing, but the biggest shameless moment I've ever seen Marvel do in the last, 3 years. And they've done a lot of stupid shit. Okay,
but this was particularly bad.
They literally put it on there, and first off, it doesn't even tie into Civil War II, the Totally Awesome book. It's the solo Banner story that I've been waiting for Greg Pak to goddamn tell since we launched the goddamn story, and it's really good. But you couldn't even do a 2-second mention. Nope. You couldn't even have Banner in the Totally Awesome Hulk be like, "Hey, I'm starting to feel like I might still have some gamma in me, so I'm gonna go to this lab over here." That some kind of a handoff, really?
No.
Yeah.
Honey Bendis don't give a fuck about your handoffs.
Well, neither do all those great new readers they always keep talking about and pulling in.
Yeah, they don't care at all. That's why they're all freaking out right now.
Oh yeah.
It's funny because that definitely is one of these situations where it's like you didn't even have to be a super nerd to catch the miscontinuity on this one. New readers are catching it too because it's so egregious.
It's the one thing that new readers are ass blasted about that's actually correct to be ass blasted about.
Not only that, they then kill Banner, outright kill him, but he's walking fine in Totally Awesome Hulk.
He'll be, but it doesn't matter.
He will be back in time for Thor 2.
Did you guys like the art choice when Hawkeye was like his eyes flickered green and then
they
panel
weren't
next to it and they're fucking brown? It's a zoom in on his perfectly brown eyes without a speck of green.
There's one of two things of that. Either the artist fucked up and didn't put it in there, or that was Hawkeye being like,
that's a calamity. No, I think it was that Hawkeye just fucked up.
Right, because it could have been that Hawkeye fucked up, and that was the point. Hawkeye's like, they flickered green, and you look back, and they weren't.
And they freaking did.
You want to talk about another Bendis hang-up? What is Bendis's weird thing with Hawkeye? He kills him, brings him back, and continues to do weird stuff with him in every story.
Yeah.
He's just like dance puppets.
Basically,
I'm starting to honestly feel like we were talking about the ending of this whole thing's going to be something like everyone's going to be resolved or whatever. I'm starting to wonder if we're just going to rewind time. We're going to go back to a time before Ulysses was found, and that's what's going to happen.
Oh.
I mean, we
that'd be
killed
fine.
Banner. Okay, first off, we killed Banner. So losing Amadeus Cho anytime soon, and I'm probably the only one reading Totally Awesome Hulk out of all of us now.
It's okay, but
it's okay, but it's not Banner Hulk. I want my Banner Hulk back, and they just killed him. So, secondly,
he'll be back in time for Thor. In fact, don't be surprised if at the end of this, his soul went to Asgard. What are the odds of that?
Somebody in my chat during bedtime stories last night was like, "Wouldn't it be cool if Thor's path to redemption was bringing Banner back?"
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Caitlin just wrote an amazing story. Submit that to
That's
Marvel
a better
Plus.
pitch than what they're probably going to do.
Yeah.
What they're probably going to do is he didn't die, or they're going to rewind time, or, the Hulk was bursting out and it regenerated him or something stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll just grow or whatever.
Now he's the undead Hulk.
I mean, like, they opened the book. They opened Civil War 1 with Doc Samson, and they were like, didn't you die? And he's like, yeah, I'm fine now, though. I got better.
Which the fact that they brought Samson back at all makes me think, like, where was Samson during this? He's a big supporting Hulk character. Shouldn't he have something to say on the
but he's also boring.
Yeah.
That's the biggest complaint.
Okay, and let's talk about the cliffhanger ending. Because, like, it's kind of going the direction we talked about, where they're like, we finally discovered how Ulysses' power works. Which, first off, says, when have we ever been able to discover how Inhumans or X-Men powers work?
Right. Well, also, like,
it's not like they have Batman in their universe to help him out.
Yeah.
Because we used the special computer machine that read his brainwaves, so now we're good.
Detective Comics shark spray bullshit right there. Like, it's just like, we used figure it out spray, and we understand now.
I love the idea behind Civil War. I want to really be behind.
You do, because the idea behind Civil War is to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Well, no, not the story is actually really good, and I stand by my
Is
statement.
it? Because I saw it when it was called Minority Report.
I like the little head thing you put in there.
Minority Report.
Like Civil War. This is going to be. I'm calling it now. It's the convergence.
Wait, hold on. Can somebody gif the three of us twirling our heads to sound?
There you go.
Minority Report.
It's the Minority
Report.
He legitimately, like, Civil War 2 will be the convergence of Marvel, where it was an utterly forgettable book that was made specifically to fill time until Marvel could do the next thing they were gonna do, and it is bankrupt of any, like, originality or good ideas. Like, Civil War 2 isn't neat, I guess. Is David Marquez's art phenomenal?
Oh yeah,
definitely. But is this a story that begs to be told? Do I really need goddamn Minority Report in the Marvel universe and have people go like, who? It's not whose side are you on, but like, it's some other dumb philosophical
where do you
question.
fall ethically
like,
or morally?
Where are your ethics in regards to preventing crime? Do you fight the nuke to prevent nuclear war, or do you not fire the fucking nuke to prevent nuclear war?
That's basically what it breaks down to.
It's such a huge debate.
You know
I really
what?
thought
I
it was
think
going
in
to
the end,
be.
I think in the end, I would have enjoyed this. I would have enjoyed this so much more if it wasn't a tie-in heavy event where almost no tie-in is actually tied into the event. Most of our tie-ins our tie-in portion is everyone went to a big fight at the beginning, and now we're doing our own thing.
Dude,
who would have predicted
that? I complain about this shit all the time. It's when you get marketing-driven content and not creator-driven content. All of this content that's coming out of Marvel right now is money, 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 money. And it doesn't have to have a lot of creativity or make sense or tie into things as long as you stamp the right brand logo on it and you fucking move it out the door. And that's why so many people are getting fed up with these goddamn gimmicks. Like, what was with that Captain Hydra shit when they were like, by the way, none of it mattered in the second issue? You could have told me that at the end.
But it is going to matter, though, because they're going to be splitting up a bunch of different teams post-Civil War because he's going to get outed at some point. It looks like Captain America will be distancing himself from the Avengers and the rest of the superhero community.
What kind of story? Like, what a boring idea. I don't know.
I mean, I agree with you, and I think that's what's irritating about Civil War because, like, I blitzed down trying to read a bunch of these Civil War tie-ins, and there was no reason. There was no reason for me to read these. The only ones that are legitimately tied in are Spider-Man. Gods of War? That's just
but even those
are
are
no one's available.
Boring.
There I go.
Spider-Man ones are just like someone at your company who used to be a bad guy might be a bad guy, and I bet if you treat him like an asshole for long enough and put him under severe scrutiny because I sowed the idea of what was going to happen in your head, I bet that it comes true. Like, no shit.
I'm pretty sure I would have been less irritated with this if it was just a Civil War II event. We could have written off a couple of the things that went wrong, like, oh, Banner's not Hulk right now, whatever. But whatever. What does that makes no goddamn sense? Like, Banner's not Hulk. Like, you made this whole big goddamn spiel about new heroes, new people, Amadeus show, Kamala Khan, Nova, all this freaking shit. And you're like, oh, but when we want to tell a good story, we're gonna fix all that. It's not gonna matter.
We use real Hulk.
Yeah.
We use real stuff.
I'm so mad.
It's kind of funny too.
The rage is turning cold inside me, and my jimmies are in space where Pluto is, flying with my toucan. My toucan is gone.
No, it literally says to me that there's two people at Marvel. One that says we need to be, progressive and try new heroes and do all this other stuff, and then there's the other side of the house. It's like, but when it's a good story, can we just do the old shit? Can we just bring back Thor and say this is before Mighty Thor? Can we just bring back Hulk because we want to bring out Hulk?
That might just be creators who are like, I want to tell...
Oh, you know what's so fucking mind-blowing, too? Is that when Civil War came out the first time around, it was a clusterfuck in the comics. It was actually really solid until we got it in trade format and we could actually read it coherently. But before then, when it was coming out in little bits and pieces, it was a goddamn clusterfuck. And this is a worse version of the original clusterfuck. I don't know. It was like the people who had this great idea to be like, you know what would be great to do after the Civil War movie comes out? The same shit. That would be great. Let's do the same shit, but way worse and way more clusterfucky. And let's make the tie-ins one-shots and not actual tie-ins that relate at all. This will be fantastic. No one will be mad. No one will leave and go to DC. That's ridiculous. Marvel is all there is. And now everybody's table flipping. Because the new shit is good. The redemption stories are good. Jane Foster was good.
Yeah.
But it's this other rehash bullshit that's making me want to just chop it in half and throw Marvel in the garbage can.
I think another thing, too, that's really rustling people's jimmies, just to borrow that phrase again, is the fact that after all the leaked titles and everything, we know who ends up where at the end of Civil War 2. We know who makes it and knows who doesn't. So it's like, I guess I don't need to read this whole event then, do I? Because you've basically already told me. And you were going to tell us anyway, even if they didn't leak out. You were going to tell us at Comic-Con.
What, a week, I think, is San Diego? Yeah.
Yeah, you were going to tell us at Comic-Con anyway.
It is content driven by marketing staff. Like, this is the kind of harebrained bullshit that a marketing team does. And I know this because I am a web and content designer that frequently works with marketing teams, and this is the kind of shit that they would come up with. But that's not what readers want. That's not what people who are fans want. People who are fans, we want to enjoy shit. We want to read the whole thing. It's like, you know, it would be great if in the middle of the series we just spoiled all of it. That would be fucking fantastic.
And that's the thing too. It's like we're on issue 3, but this is technically issue 5 when you count in the 0 issue and the free comic book day issue and all the other stuff. And really, it's only in issue 3 where has shit started to, as I keep saying, pop off and be like, okay, so this is the inciting incident now, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, the overall, I think in general, they're seeing great sales off titling it Civil War II. You just had a blockbuster movie. You just titled the comic book series Civil War II. You're titling 1,000 books Civil War II.
It was going to make money regardless.
At the rate we're going, not only are we fed up, not only are we irritated with what they're doing in Civil War II, but the readers are. And a lot of people are going to be jumping ship. And by the time we hit this new Marvel Now launch, I got a feeling we're going to start to see some sales starting to suffer.
Everyone's going to get really jaded because what we're seeing is an overflooding of the market with gimmicks and events. And so when Marvel Now launches, readers are just going to look at it and go, oh my God, look, another gimmick and event. I don't want to sink hundreds of dollars into this gimmick and event when Rebirth, which is actually good and doesn't feel gimmicky, even though it's an event, is titillating my comic book fancy. Yeah. So I'm just going to take my money. I'm going to go over here where I know I'm actually going to get something good rather than risk it on this fucking bullshit that Jerry from Rick and Morty fucking came up with.
Hungry for apples?
Anything in a while. What do you got to say about this whole thing?
I mean, it's obviously marketing driven. They're trying to, have their cake and eat it too, as far as like, let's make as much money as we can in the short term instead of like sowing the seeds of an actual status quo. Because that's the thing. Like the thing everybody likes about continuity in the big two is a legacy, and it's what like DC is kind of like recapturing with Rebirth. They're like, we're bringing back the legacy, but you have to fuck up real bad in order to recapture your legacy, because otherwise your legacies are being constantly told and continuing from like one point to the next. With Marvel, they're all with the renumberings, the reissuings, with these awful like event-driven, like every 8 months kind of publishing plans. They're making money in the short term, like they because the fact is event-driven publishing works. Renumberings work. They sell. They see a big jump every time. But I'd love to see the stats and see like, do they jump the same number every year, or is it more like there is a spike, but every year it's a little less because each time.
And that information is a very closely guarded secret. There's a reason we don't know, because they hold that stuff pretty close to the chest. Both the companies do.
Well, and it's funny because like
that events, like you can take this to a macro scale outside of publishing, and you can actually look at marketing events outside of comic books to really show you how it works. Because every time a company does a special promotion, their sales suffer. So most recently, sorry, this is a fashion example. I'm going to take Michael Kors as an example here. So Michael Kors is kind of doing what Marvel did, but with his fucking handbags. So with Michael,
you mean I'm curious on this one.
You mean all the handbags are going to fight each other and have moral and ethical debates?
The handbags are fighting, you guys. No, but what he did with handbags was he was like, oh, look at these special handbags I have made. Very exclusive handbags for Nordstrom's, right? Oh my gosh. Let's put the handbags on sale for an exclusive special Michael Kors sale. But then he started doing a special exclusive Michael Kors sale every month, and then every week. And then all of a sudden the Michael Kors bags plummeted in value and got kicked the fuck out of Nordstrom's, Macy's, Dillard's, and now they're in fucking JCPenney, okay, and Sears. All right? So Sears is great, and there's nothing wrong with Michael Kors, but to go from Nordstrom's and Neiman Marcus to Sears is a huge dive, and it's because he devalued his brand by constantly doing gimmicks. And that's what Marvel is doing right now. They're running the comic book brand into the fucking ground because every week, every month, it's like event, gimmick, bullshit. And eventually you're like, yeah, okay, so it's worthless is what you're telling me.
I mean, a great example is, I don't know if I should be supportive of Riri Williams or not. Because what Marvel is telling me with Civil War II is that people aren't really accepting their changes over to like a Korean Hulk. They're just going to ignore them when it needs to. So you're telling me like Riri Williams, new Iron Man, until it doesn't sell, and then Tony Stark's going to miraculously appear in an
Well,
event.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I mean, you're also getting Richard Rider back now, and let us not also forget the sad tale of the all-new, all-different Ghost Rider, whose name escapes me at the moment, even though I was a
Robbie
huge fan.
Reyes?
Robbie Reyes.
No, he was
Yes,
a Marvel Now Ghost Rider. We have no all-new, all-different Marvel.
Well, listen, Robbie Reyes might be coming back if he's going to be on this Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season, whatever the hell.
Oh, really? Are they working him into that?
There's big rumors that say that we're going to see Ghost Rider / Robbie Reyes in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. universe, which is like,
good for Robbie.
Exhausts me.
well,
I like Shield.
I like it as well.
Ghost Rider, I'll watch it.
Yeah, if Ghost Rider's in it, that'd be interesting.
They already had a fire chain dude guy who was one of the Secret Warriors this season.
But he is technically a Ghost Rider character as well.
Oh, the Hellfire, right? That's his name, Hellfire.
All right, well, I think we've ranted enough about what we don't like or like about Civil War 2. And for the record, the reason I think a lot of us are angry and passionate about it is, I can speak for everyone here, we're all comic book fans, and that means we enjoy Marvel and DC and things like that, and we want to see our superheroes be treated properly. And that doesn't mean we have any problems with the new versions of superheroes.
No.
If you're going to do it, stick to it and tell me the story of how Banner came back.
Yeah. That's what I want. I was looking forward so much to a Banner Hulk story, and then to have it snatched out from under me by fucking Honey Bendis makes me really upset. And then on top of that, these gimmicks are hurting the new heroes and the new versions of heroes like Riri Williams and Jane Foster, because people are like, oh, this thing that could be really legitimate and actually very good is now totally delegitimized because they can't get their shit together. Anyway, that's my...
So let's move on to that, because this is supposed to be about more than one comic. So
Yeah, I know, right?
Has anyone read
always
the
do this.
Civil War II Spider-Man book?
Yes, I did.
I looked through it, and
I read it.
All right, Sal, what did you think on your skimming?
I mean, it looks like the same old shit. It looks like a tie-in. It looks like it has nothing to do with the event. It looks like I said, like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I have no interest in.
That was the moral of it. It was Peter figuring out that maybe this is a self-fulfilling prophecy. What I liked about it, though, is that the majority of this issue actually focused on Clayton Cole Clash, and it kind of touched a particular nerve that I really like as a comic reader and as a reader in fiction, because it's telling the story of a down-on-his-luck schlubby villain trying to turn stuff around. We get to meet Clayton's parents, and they're horrible, and they're like, you're basically an indentured servant for Peter Parker. Why aren't you making any more money, son? And he's like, well, I'm an ex-con, Mom, and I'm trying, really hard. Peter's putting all my money for my inventions in a trust fund, and once I'm off parole, I'll get it. Well, why aren't you getting married? So I'm like, well, I'm seeing a really nice single mom right now. It's like, nah, single moms are great. He's like, Urgh. And then he meets like one of his buddies who was henching with him with the owl, and that dude's got like a big wad of cash and living free. And then he thinks Ulysses is being brought in to replace him, so he freaks out and overreacts, and the prophecy begins to fulfill itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of Harley's Day Out.
It's a little it's a little like that. It's
That's
everything bad that could happen to Clayton happens to him. And you know who has the best line in this issue? Harry Osborn. He's like, look, Pete, as someone who has fallen off the wagon and onto a goblin glider several times before, I have some insight into this. Maybe the only reason he stayed good for so long was because he knew Peter Parker and Spider-Man believed in him. And now that he feels that you are doubting him, he feels like he has nothing left to live for. Better go put on a costume again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Mendel Strom, the robot master, shows up in this issue and says, hey, Clayton, I used to be Norman Osborn's business partner. You and me, we got a lot in common. Let's do a total white-collar crime together.
The AC wasn't on it here. It was like 76 degrees. So like my balls were just in my own sweat. I was in my own filth.
I thought you went to go take a nap because Joel was talking.
was talking about his crime stories that he likes.
See, this is why Sea Monster does well on the show, Sal. She's all about bashing Joel. So
Right.
It's true. That's your initiation thing.
Sorry, Joel. You're my favorite cherry-cheeked, cherub-faced Canadian.
That's the nickname she gave him last time. He's the cherub.
Nice.
Anyway,
I'm gonna get that on jackets.
I don't have Spider-Man. I didn't read it yet. So if you guys are, should you pick it up or
whatever?
It has nothing to really do with the main overall Civil War event. But again, if you are interested in the story of like predestination or a schlubby down on his luck hero, well, villain technically.
If you're sick of Dan Slott on Spider-Man, this is the other Spider-Man book you can read about Peter Parker.
That's fair.
That's
fair.
Are, Sal? Were you sick of Dan Slott on Spider-Man?
I love that guy, and I don't
All right,
Sal's been
Civil War
sick for
2
a bit.
Choosing Sides. Now, it's got Moon Knight on the cover, and I really want to read it.
This one I read. It's a lie, though.
Is he not
Ooh.
in it at all, or is it like a cameo?
Okay, so Choosing Sides is their anthology book. They do these for every event. Now you get 3. The first story is actually chopped into 3 itself, which is weird. It's all the people who went to War Machine's funeral, and it's really friggin' weird.
And then they started fighting?
No, actually, it's weirder than that. So Storm is like, oh, I did not know you, James Rhodes, but you seem nice. Let me walk around Philadelphia, the place where you came from, and get a cheesesteak and see a baseball game.
This sounds like a great
Stupid.
comic.
Yeah,
It
that sounds awesome.
Exciting.
So
That's
so
only
that's
art
enough.
can bring that. Like
Yes.
only someone's like talented, skilled hand can draw anything in their imagination. That's what I want to see.
So the
I
first
want
one
to
is
imagine that the writer was sitting in a dark room with a glass of like cheap scotch, contemplating his life, and he's going like, I need to get rid of some of this toxicity and darkness within me. And then he writes about this fucking cheesesteak.
Maybe he was eating a cheesesteak in Philadelphia, and he's like, I can tell this story.
Yes.
It's actually a Jersey Mike's, and he's got the
Nice.
cheesesteak half in his mouth, and he pulls it away from him, and he goes, I got it.
and then they repeat it with like, Miss America Chavez and Misty Knight being like, we didn't know you either, Rhodey, but let us talk about you anyway.
What the hell? And it's
And
just
then-
that's the breaks when you have a character that didn't have a lot of play in the Marvel universe outside
Yep.
of Iron Man titles, and you're using
Yep.
all your Iron Man characters.
The second story is even weirder because it's about the nephew of Goliath from the original
yeah.
Civil War.
Is
And
this
what
a fan fiction where they all go to high school?
it might as well be. He's in jail. The art's terrible on that one. I skimmed through that. I'm like, really? They're telling a story about the nephew of Goliath from the original past.
So you're
And then
already
we-
taking your obscure character, and then you're taking his even more obscure supporting cast.
And then
Yeah.
finally we get to Moon Knight. Moon Knight is the third story.
Please.
And at first they make it seem like, oh, this is picking up from where the Nick Fury story ended in the first issue of Choosing Sides, where he's trying to, flush out whatever corruption is happening in S.H.I.E.L.D. right now, and he's hired Moon Knight to do the job for him and to beat up some people. Only here's the thing, though, in the final page, they go, nah, Moon Knight's actually in an insane asylum. It was me, Nick Fury, pretending to be Moon Knight the whole time.
Ah,
Yep.
Sucks.
Yep. Moon Knight never actually shows up. It's Nick Fury Jr. pretending to be Moon
it's
Knight.
not. I'm looking at it now. It's like 4 pages too.
Yep.
It's
on, I
not
gotta
even
get
like it's a
some big
sizable Moon Knight-ish thing with the twist.
It's the shortest one, and it wasn't even about him. Now, that being said, that's the one story from Choosing Sides I'm interested in, and Marvel in their anthology bits have never done this before, and that is, look, follow one actual story throughout the anthologies until they're done, instead
Something
of
that
just
could have
like,
been done in 2 issues titled Nick Fury Civil War, but whatever.
Right.
You okay, Sal?
that's fair.
Oh yeah. I'm going in for the thoughtful, pensive look.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
So
then I know
pensive.
you probably read this one already, Joel. Gods of War 2. You and I are the only readers of Hercules. I just haven't got to it yet.
Yes.
Didn't get a chance to get that one. I'm sure it's great because I love Hercules, and he's going to be on the Avengers, so even more reason for why you should all be catching up on what's
I'm
going
a
on.
little sad that his solo book is ending, but at least they're not like, and he's back into obscurity.
He didn't get buried. He's sticking in there, which makes me think perhaps the Marvel movies have some plans for Hercules. Maybe when when Thor is done, maybe we need to start a Hercules series of films.
Maybe Hercules is lined up in case Wonder Woman does well.
Ooh, possibly.
Marvel's
Yeah, people
Hercules-
love that. People love that Greek god stuff.
They sure do. Swords. If a Xena warrior princess can come back, then Hercules can do good in comics.
Okay, and then Deadpool. Who read Deadpool?
I didn't
Nope.
get a chance to.
No.
I'm sure it's good. I like what they're going.
No, I just spit everywhere. Deadpool's been good since the beginning. I have yet to have any. I love Jerry Dugan's writing for Deadpool. It's
Yep.
like he is goddamn Deadpool.
Oh, he gets it. He gets the character real well, and even more so, he can turn it on and off too. He's like, okay, now he's a clown. Now he's a sad clown. Let's tell some serious stuff.
Yeah. Deadpool's most likely good, and then New Avengers. I'm assuming nobody read.
I haven't read New Avengers since it started, and I haven't had to because that book has had no bearing on anything.
I actually have liked New Avengers since it started. It's not too
It looks
bad.
cute. It looks cute. I mean,
Alright,
it's going
well-
to become It's going to become USA Avenger soon, so read it while you can.
Yes.
Yeah, so anyway, I guess Civil War 2, I mean, the story's still pretty good. The art is amazing. The tie-ins are pointless.
Unless you liked what was going on in them anyway.
And the sad part is, that's what's going on in Marvel right now. So
Yeah.
outside of those books, you have the option of reading, which is horrible, the Apocalypse War X-Men stories.
Oh yeah, which no one is.
Don't
That
do
has
it.
been torture. I'm keeping up with it just because X-Men always does good on my
Why
channel.
are you doing this to yourself? Are you reading it so that you don't hurt their feelings? That sounds like some
They don't
canon
know you're
bullshit.
reading it, man.
They don't know.
No, they don't know. They don't care.
Jeff Lemire, Cullen Bunn, and whoever writes All New, they know. They know.
Yeah, they might favorite your tweet about it, but that's kind of it.
Yeah, no, they look at their sales as like, Joel Daly, all right, we still got him.
All right, we got 'em.
We got the
Joel's
Joel
the only
vote.
one on there.
Oh, Rocket Raccoon and Groot. Yeah, that's another one that's solo by itself, but for some reason not getting picked up. And Silk. Yeah, they're naming a few that aren't tied in. But for the record, the ones that are tied in are pretty much not tied into the Marvel universe. Silk has
Right.
been like on her own since she after she was introduced and teamed up with Spider-Man. It was like, and you're over there.
Yeah. Now
And
It's
Rocket
go.
Raccoon
probably
and
the
Groot,
best
it's
for
like-
her, and maybe why I like the book. It's
Oh.
kind of refreshing in
Yeah,
that way.
yeah. It's like the
Really
Spider-Gwen
random.
book, which
What
also came out
happened
this
with
week.
Mockingbird?
Spider-Gwen is also solo, which has been amazing up to this point. Have not read this issue yet, but Spider-Gwen is also solo. Gwenpool is also solo.
Yeah.
Every character who's basically not incorporated into the Marvel universe, great stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although, yeah.
It's been cute.
Daredevil, again,
Love him,
good
Poppy.
because he was smart enough to sit out this big event.
Yeah, but didn't he officially state I'm not getting involved and just sat out?
No, they're just doing the classic Daredevil thing where it's like, I got involved in an event before. It was called Shadowland. Never again.
That was all about him. That was
I
his
know.
event.
Right? I know.
All right,
He
so
just has trouble not making it all about himself.
I mean,
That's true.
so for the record, there are other books that came
wait,
out, but the bulk large books are all tied into this event. And
Actually,
and,
guys,
and right now
that's
the
not
show is
true.
all about Civil War II and DC Rebirth until you guys
Guys-
stop caring, and then we'll read the
guys-
other stuff.
We just mentioned Daredevil. That's not true, actually. They announced another tie-in that's going to be coming out called The Accused, and that's going to all be about Daredevil.
See, he can't stop making it about himself.
No, he really can't. And then I forget what the other one was called, like The Fallen or something, but there's going to be another one, too. Yes, there's even more Civil War II tie-in books coming.
Yeah.
All right,
I mean,
well,
Daredevil
moving
is
on
the
to something that most of us do care about, Action Comics 959.
Yay.
I feel like I'm
fantastic.
watching a season of Lost, where every issue I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Boy,
Yours.
was this issue eye-meltingly pretty, which is why Sal was sure to take a panel from that and make it the title card for this
Yeah,
episode.
the art is
I
phenomenal.
fucking love the art. And on top of that, the monologues, the writing and the monologues, like opening up with Lois's monologue about watching it all happen again, but
Yeah,
this
yeah.
time with her son
Yeah.
was just fucking mind-blowing. And it was such a good monologue. Like, I could imagine somebody dressing up as Lois Lane, going up on a stage
And reading it, yeah.
reciting that monologue for a fucking audition. Like, it was
Right.
so good.
And everyone gets a monologue in this. Luthor gets one, Superman gets one.
You
And I
get
like,
Okay, but
monologue.
we
You
have to
get a
talk about this, though.
monologue.
So if you haven't been following Action Comics, they reintroduced Clark Kent. Right off the
Again.
bat, he's back.
Yep.
But this one kind of, I guess theory crafting it, he's a clone? He's like...
possibly. A robot.
I mean, he
Maybe.
makes the comment of, you told me to go hide talking to Superman, and Superman was like, who are you?
Full
What?
timeline fusion.
That's a theory. Maybe it's the Superman imposter from the Death of Superman Super League storyline. Maybe his mind got right in that explosion, and now he just thinks he's Clark Kent.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Hey, Sal, what do you think? You read this one, right?
Yeah, I did. I have no idea, and I
Maybe-
do know
But he broke his arm.
Yeah, that's he's been maintaining I'm not super, I'm
I have
human.
no powers.
Which
like,
is funny
I don't
because
know.
we've almost had three, and and most comic books, I'd be like, you're beating this horse to death. But of all characters, Clark Kent being ousted as Superman and then being like, I'm not. No, it probably would go on this long with everyone being like, why the fuck are you flying?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Jimmy Olsen's just shaking him in the corner.
Yeah.
You
Also,
told
too,
me you were Superman.
Did
the
you
factor
lie to me, you fuck?
the factor we don't bring up too is that we see the mysterious Mr. Oz kind of puppeteering things from behind the scenes. I wonder, is this new Clark a creation of Mr. Oz, possibly, just to throw a wrench into there?
Yeah, I mean,
You don't sound too thrilled about it, so.
Mr. Oz is whatever. I'm never a fan of a shadowy character in the background
cloak.
going no
In a cloak,
was
watching a
that's-
bunch of screens.
Yeah.
I think so. What I've been theorizing with the whole Watchmen tie-in thing, and I know I got my tinfoil hat on, like I folded it up, I made a nice jaunty tricorn with some fucking tinfoil and saran wrap. But so with how the Watchmen characters have been displaying throughout the different titles, like for Flash and Batman, it's been the comedian. For Green Arrow, it's been Rorschach, and for Superman, it's been Dr. Manhattan. What about Dr. Manhattan being the shadowy puppet master?
Possibly.
It's kind of out of nowhere, but who knows?
I'm trying to get Sal excited. Sal, be excited.
I mean, like, I just want to read Superman stories. I don't care about, like, all these stupid, like, I like these stories. I just don't want to, I don't care about, like, I hate when a really fun story interrupted by
external
references
forces
to shit that's gonna happen late. Like, I get references, but like whenever someone is deliberately cast in shadow and you don't know who they are and blah blah blah, like for me it perverts the fun of the original of the.
You don't have to catalog external forces, is what you're saying.
I guess.
All right. Well, did you read Detective Comics?
I did.
I normally don't read detectives, so I have to go back. But
this newest arc is really strong. Batwoman leading a team of some of your favorite secondary Bat family members. This is good, and this issue especially shone a really good light on Kate Kane and why she's making a solid push to be like, not going to be Batman, not going to make the same mistakes he is. He's out of the picture. I'm going to handle this a different way. I'm actually going to tell people what's at stake instead of lying and trying to like handle it myself from the shadows.
I see. Because you know what? I'm actually just like you, Sal. Detective was never on my read list.
No, it's never.
So it's like not normal for me to be like, I got to read Detective now.
No, and I always avoid what I call ancillary titles because I'm always like, well, that's all right. Like you got the A title, and then you got like the B title, and I only have so much money in my wallet. I'm not going to dedicate it to like all the alphabet. I'm going to just get the A's.
It's also another beautiful book, Detective Comics. Nighttime in Gotham with snow. They know what Joel likes, so they put it in every issue now.
They know what everybody likes, that Joel. You're not special for liking that.
Yeah, Joel.
We all like Gotham, Joel.
Everyone wants to live in Gotham and then regret living in Gotham.
Paraphernalia in our homes, Joel.
It's true.
Not Joel.
All right, well, okay, so did anyone else read Detective? Joel says it's great. Did you read it, Caitlin?
I did. I really love the opening scene with with her inner monologue and then holding the beer glass and then it going into her military history. I like that opening up, and then I like sort of that cutting off, that official cutting off of her relationship.
Yeah,
sort of in the middle there. I mean, it was really good. It was very well paced. I liked how it opened, and then all of a sudden, Batman's dying and getting the shit kicked out of him. And
what do we do now?
It gets so real so fast.
We're on our own team. Also, some nice Easter eggs. Basil Carlo, because thanks to Wayne Enterprise Technology, can essentially assume human form now. Yep. He's taken auditions now for movies, and guess what name? Guess what name he took, Sal?
Matt Hagen?
Yep, that's what he's calling him. See, I knew that would get Sal. I knew he'd like that.
Yeah.
He's calling himself Matt Hagen now. And some really cool stuff with Batwoman's father, who obviously some people might be angered by the twist they have with him in this. I think they've been, kind of foreshadowing that for a while now, where he's like, look, I love you, honey. I've helped out with your crusade, but I've had a very different view on the war on crime, and now we're going to do it Dad's way, essentially.
That's cool.
And Dad's way is horrifying, actually.
All right.
Yeah.
So far, Superman amazing. Well, Action Comics amazing. Detective Comics gets a glowing review from the people who actually read Detective.
Right.
And The Flash, which is like, I'm literally going to read it once this is over. Is anyone ready yet?
No.
No, I haven't gotten a chance to.
Oh, I want to read it. All right. Most likely it's good. Well, even if it's not, I'll tell you it is because I'm probably going to love it. Okay, that brings us to everything I've ever wanted in the Green Lantern books for the last 2 years. Oh my god! Okay, so Hal Jordan opens up by explaining what's going on with the goddamn Will Gauntlet, so it wraps up that storyline. He makes a new ring, he gets a new ring, he's awesome. He explains the core's still missing, he explains Kyle Rayne is the White Lantern, he explains all the other cores, everything is brought back, it's the most amazing thing ever, and he's like, now I'm gonna fix all of this, and I'm like, I love you!
And now Benny needs a cigarette.
Oh, Robert Venditti, he's slowly but surely taking the mantle of Jeff Johns from me as the best Green Lantern writer, because he's had his stumbles, but when he does it so right.
That's cool.
I imagine Benny looking over to his Green Lantern comic in bed, smoking, be like, "Was it good for you too, Green Lantern comic?" Because it was good for
it's
me.
so amazing, because it's everything. If you've been following what I've been doing on the channel about Green Lantern and the history and the course and all this crap, and
He's your guy.
DCU was sad for me. I was like, what's Renegade? And why are we in another universe? And who the fuck decided this was a good idea? And now we're back, and it's like, yes, the White Lantern! Yes, the cores! Oh.
That's good.
A
Happy
lot of
Benny is best
articles
Benny.
about Green Lantern Rebirth have been heralding it as sort of the return of the Silver Age Green Lantern.
Mm.
That's what I've been hearing a lot of.
It's the return to what was good in Green Lantern, which was around the Jeff Johns era where he introduced all of the lore and the mythos, because for the last 2 years they've been kind of just ignoring the mythos. Yeah, there's other cores, but they just show up when we really need them, and yeah, there's a White Lantern, but we're bored of him, so he's gone. You know?
Right.
He's a little too OP, so we're not going to talk about him.
Oh,
That's good.
where's my vape pen? Oh, oh.
Spoken like a true Coloradan. Where's
We get it, you vape.
Sorry, I'm not Rob. Actually, I think it's
I miss
dead.
Colorado?
You actually have a vape.
Oh, nice. We thought it was a marker for a second.
No, I do.
Looking like Scrooge McDuck over there.
Instead of vaping, it's just a smelly marker.
Yeah.
Oh, smelly marker's so good.
Cinnamon.
Nothing like
everyone's like, what the
marker
fuck?
at the end of the day.
Good stuff.
All right. So anyway, yeah. Green Lantern. No one else read it?
No,
I'm gonna read it.
I did look
It's not
through
my
it,
file.
and that's Ethan Van Sciver's art, and it's fantastic.
Oh, it looks amazing.
And yeah, it was cool. It was more or less like a summary. It was like, here's what happened, here's what's going to happen. Good luck. I'm back.
Well, I like the summary though, because for people who are relatively new to Green Lantern, like myself, it was never a series I really picked up, except for when Batman became Yellow Lantern, and that was really cool.
Yeah.
I love how everyone they don't give a crap about Green Lantern. The chat is freaking out about me vaping.
Like, what's happening?
The rise of the vape pen.
Oh my god!
But yes.
Oh yeah, but yeah, for people who are relatively new to Green Lantern, the opening of Green Lantern Rebirth, these first three have been really good for newbies who are new to the mythos. They're new to the Green Lantern Corps as a whole.
Because it became impenetrable for a bit.
It really did. It was, trying to pick up Green Lantern, at least for me, as somebody new to Green Lantern anyway.
Yeah.
I just was like, this is too daunting. I couldn't
do it.
This fucking shit.
And there was 6 Lantern books at one time. It's like, well, which is more? I don't know.
Yeah, now everyone's asking that question, what you just said. If you have never, because you're always like, Green Lantern's math, it'd be like trying to jump in the middle of a season of Star Trek. It's so crazy with it.
Oh, yeah.
If you've never jumped into Green Lantern because you were scared of it, do it now. Because the Green Lanterns book explains what the Green Lanterns do on Earth and the Green Lanterns and their role, and Hal Jordan and the Green Lanterns does a great job of recapping the crazy shit out in space and what they need to do.
Yeah.
Yes. And Benny, somebody in the chat said you're the vape-storian now.
So what I want to do here today is sit you down and tell you all about vapes.
All right, since no one else read it, I'm giving it a glowing review. Let's move on to the new Superman, which is the Chinese Superman.
Yes. New super hyphen man.
I'm kind of happy with that.
Me too.
I honestly thought it would be a book where I would read the first issue and be like, and I'm done. And I want to see what's going to happen. I can't vouch much more outside of that.
They've clearly taken some inspiration from how Marvel has launched their new younger heroes. I got many a flashback to Sam Alexander in the early days of Kamala Khan. And here, what's interesting is we have a super character who is not a paragon of righteousness. Keenan Kong as his name. He is a dickweed. He is a dick biscuit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a Chinese superhero, which this book introduces us to the Chinese side of the DC universe. So the superheroes over there, what they're doing, the characters, how they're being developed, all this kind of stuff. It's opening the doors to an entire new side of the DC universe that isn't in a separate multiverse and isn't in this crazy thing on its own.
It's just the other end of the world.
Right, other end of the world, something we've never really explored.
Well, I really like that because our world is becoming more and more global, and I like that comic books are kind of a reflection of our world, just if it was cooler. So
as they should be.
So it's an interesting insight, and especially the little cultural tidbits here and there that are getting thrown into it, and kind of expanding our understanding of how our beloved superheroes would operate if it was multinational. And it would make sense, of course, for the Justice League. Not everybody from the Justice League is going to be American or English style Western people who, bounce around the planet. There have to be international superheroes. And I like that exploration. And China is a really good one because they're they're entering into the globe, our global society more and more nowadays.
Well, certainly
they're than they've ever been. So this is.
It doesn't hurt that they're the largest and most highest rising economy when it comes to entertainment.
That sure helps. Movies that are failures here in North America are saved by China now.
Yeah. Warcraft.
Yeah, for real.
Real quick,
but not Ghostbusters.
Yeah, no, that's not going to be saved anywhere.
No, I mean Ghostbusters is banned in China.
Why we're not discussing Flash? If you missed it. The reason we're not discussing Flash is no one read it. A lot of us are fans of the Flash, and we will read it. But the sad part is there's a lot of comics, and we can only read so many before this show.
And certain books take precedent.
Yeah, exactly.
I try and read the biggest ones for this show.
I honestly thought I thought someone was going to read the Flash, so I read Green Lantern, assuming no one would read that.
I almost got to the Flash, but I ran out of time because my boss was like, "You got the content strategy done," and I was like, "Working on it now and not reading comics, boss."
But I need to know what's up in the DC universe. I need to read my stories.
All I can state is that Rebirth and the first issue of Flash were amazing, so most likely the second one is, but we can't vouch. No one read it. There's quite a few people being like, "Can you guys talk about the Flash?" It's like no one.
Unless they drop the ball horribly, which I doubt.
Yeah.
I'll talk about it on Bedtime Stories tomorrow night if you guys want.
There you go. Put the link to that in the chat. Sweet. Or give it to me so I can put it in the chat.
Yes, I will. I'll do that right now.
Okay.
What I like, too, about this Chinese Superman from, a theming and symbology point of view is they make a point of saying that this kid's mother was killed in a plane crash. And is there a more Superman-y image of him stopping a plane from falling? He does it in everything. So I think it's funny that they made planes part of this dude's origin and being like, if only I had the power, if only China had a Superman, maybe my mother wouldn't have died.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Which sympathizes him quite a bit. Also, instead of a kindly Pa Kent figure, he's got a communist or a conspiracy theory nut for a father who's also a bit of a dick biscuit, which explains why he's a dick biscuit.
So, I mean, overall, it's a great #1. I can't vouch where this story is going to go, but if you're looking for something new and a fresh take on familiar power sets in a universe you're familiar with, it's a great story.
Yeah. And the art's not bad.
Oh, yeah,
pretty
great.
Really
good. Yeah.
Love the costume.
The only complaint I have about the art
costume.
is the way they were drawing our hero. He claimed he was tall and fit and everything, and he's got the biceps. And every time I saw him, I was like, are they drawing him with a double chin?
Yeah.
I think he's also a liar on top of being a jerk.
Yeah, I think that's... He's also a liar.
So let's move on to the next, oh my god, Rebirth, Nightwing.
Yo.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Everybody fucking loves Dick, and Dick is back in our lives. I know we had that conversation.
Everyone read
I gotta
Rebirth.
keep saying it.
Everyone read the Nightwing Rebirth, and if you so many plot lines with Dick Grayson have been thrown out there and just not gone anywhere for the last 2 years. This literally wraps up all of them.
This is the true ending to Grayson, which is funny because Grayson had 2 endings in the 3rd annual and the actual end of the series. This is Tim Seeley being like, no. Daddy's home. He's going to end it the way it was always meant to be ended, you Philistines who took up after me because I was busy writing actual Nightwing.
Naturally.
If you've been waiting for Nightwing, if you've been wanting just this Dick Grayson crap to end, you've been wanting him to be back with the Bat family, you want your classic Dick on Dick action.
You get it.
This is it. Nightwing Rebirth brings him home. And what I like about it is it actually picks up and continues a storyline that I really thought we were just going to write off, the We Are Robin's ending. The Robin War
right?
thing?
Terrible.
But the
Terrible
way that
story that they
cliffhanger-
do away with.
Yeah, but I thought basically Robin War was like, oh, it's panned, nobody likes it, so don't continue the plot line we started at the end, which was Dick Grayson being accepted into the Court of the Owls. And basically this wraps up every plot they started except for that, and that's where it wants to continue. It's like, yes, I want to hear that.
Everybody loves the Court of Owls. A Court of Owls story for Dick is it's one of the better things that we can see emerging in this early plot line.
What's cool too is like
Blue Blaze asked a great question. Will Midnighter show up? Yes, because they even answer that.
He did.
Yeah.
It's great too because this whole issue is basically Dick getting Damian up to speed on everything he's been doing in the last couple months, and basically being a great big brother too. He takes him to the arcade, being like, "Batman doesn't take me to the arcade." I'm like, no, he wouldn't. Batman doesn't seem like he would like those kinds of things.
It endeared me to Damian so much to watch Damian act like a normal little kid brother. It actually made so many more things that really annoyed me about his personality make a lot of sense for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, the fact that like he gets the bomb removed from his brain and he's like, I need action figures and ice cream. was like my favorite thing.
You are a child. You are human.
Yeah.
I always forget he's a kid, and I just think he's some annoying ass fucking young adult. And I forget he's a child, and he pisses me off to no end, but he pisses me off because he's a kid brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like that. That's good shit.
Is.
A lot of the writers forget that too. They're like,
really
I just want to write about an adult. Like I want to write about like an assassin, crazy person. And then they're like, oh, but he's also like a child, like he's a legitimate like 12. Child.
I like you mentioned everyone loves the Court of Owls. They do, but they can take or leave Lincoln March at this point because Robin War messed with his character so hard. And it's like, why would the Court of Owls ever trust this guy again? And the answer is they wouldn't.
Still Lincoln March. They're like, no, you done fucked up.
Okay, I want to.
Technically,
the
he's
character
a
that
talent,
killed Lincoln March in this issue, they just removed him. Who was that?
Removed. Oh yeah, that's what you call a Talon.
He's a talent, so they could bring him back. They might have just cryo-slept him or whatever. But the new mystery villain.
Yeah, he's a new. They got a cloak, and I was like, it looked kind of reminded me of Azrael. That's always what Talons were.
Yeah.
The Talons were always Azrael. Whoever says otherwise, you're dumb.
Actually, it's funny. The new mystery villain, his color scheme. You know, he's kind of got like the whitish gray, and he's got like actual talons and everything. He kind of looked like Calvin Rose, the Talon who had a book for a little bit, who Tim Seeley wrote before it was canceled. Wouldn't it be funny if he had Talon break bad Calvin Rose and being like, you know what? I tried to fight the Court of Owls. I run them now.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
All right,
That would be neat.
I think because we're running really late here at this point. I think we can all agree. Pick up Nightwing if you've been waiting for.
Hell yeah.
In the words of Faust, for the butt to come back.
It's
at the
a
very
real
least,
winner.
like to send that message, like, no, you were wrong to to get rid of him or to hate him. Like,
even though Grayson was a good run for most of it, we like him.
Well,
as
that's the thing.
back.
Like,
yeah.
So okay, and that brings us to the last book of today on the Rebirth side of the house, which is Wonder Woman Rebirth #2. Have not read it, but is anyone else?
it was great.
Was it?
Was it?
Yep. The art was
Tell us all about
fantastic.
it.
Story was good.
This is the year one start, right? So this is actually a
Yeah,
fresh start.
every odd issue or every even issue is going to be like a flashback that like tells
Oh.
that fleshes out her origin a lot more.
Just a smart idea.
Yep, I love it.
I was enjoying the ones that were fleshing out her origin, but the last issue, I guess the official #1, the one after the one shot, which I fucking hate this numbering system, but that one, it pulled me out of it so much that I was like, maybe I won't read the next one, but I'm super happy to hear that that #2 is bringing it back.
Number 2 is pretty solid. I really like it.
Did you guys like the fact too? Hey, Etta Candy's back. She's fat again, like Amanda Waller, but we kept her race different. Though I'm like, that's fine. That's okay.
I haven't read
I'm more happy that she's fat than than she's white. That's fine. It's all good.
Is that because you're fat?
But hey, have you said people need good representation, Benny? We can't all be slim like you. Way to body shame
slim.
me.
But I'm calling you fat.
Yeah.
Way to body shame me.
Hey, it's not called fat. It's called a love of Tim Hortons.
It's true, man. You have a Tim Hortons on every corner, and you see what happens. You see what happens.
See, Joel and I would look exactly the same if I lived near a Tim Hortons because I would be up in that Tim Hortons every 5 seconds.
So you would grow a goatee and wear flannel?
I would, and wear flannel.
All right, guys.
You got
On that
against
note, I don't
flannel,
think we can go much
Hey,
longer
girl.
because Sal's giving me the cranky, I'm hungry look.
I'm just looking at what the chat's saying about.
But you seem so docile today, Sal. Are you okay? Do we need to talk? Do we need to? Are you all right, buddy?
Annoying? Well, I mean, I know I am.
Do you not like Caitlin? Is that what it is, Sal? We're putting you on the spot.
Oh, good. It's not me for a change.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You just hurt Caitlin's
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for you to finish.
Oh. Well, now Caitlin thinks you hate her because you didn't tell her otherwise.
Oh no, she rocks.
I'm just gonna stress eat.
We're all going to turn into Joel, but Tish.
Tish.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us today. As usual, this is our Thursday show where we talk about all the new comic books that came out, but you could also join us on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday where we do various forms of gaming. Tomorrow will be a Dungeons & Dragons show at about 6 p.m. Eastern. It'll be me, Joel, Tiffany, Ben, and Danielle. We'll be playing D&D. If you join us on any other day of the week, you'll find us playing various video games from Hearthstone to Heroes of the Storm to Final Fantasy XIV. You'll also find us doing the weekly poll on Tuesdays where we talk about basically all the pop culturists that we can't cram into the comic book discussion because there's just so much crap going on now that you ask us our opinions on. So we had to do two shows. Anyway, don't forget, we do appreciate every subscription that comes across. Right now, all of the subs are going into a charity drive, which I can't announce yet because we're trying to work out the kinks on it, but it will, basically, all subs will go in from June, July, August into the charity drive. So if you subscribe now, you're getting more great content. You're helping us bring that content to you. You get access to emoticons, subscriber-only giveaways, which will be happening after this podcast. And basically, you support us, and it goes towards charity, so we really do appreciate it. On top of that, I'm Benny the Comicstorian. That is Sal from Comic Pop. That is Joel from Cape Joel. And that is Caitlin McAtee from the Sea Monster channel. If you want more Caitlin, let us know in the chat. She will be here next week, but if you want her to come back after that, we need your votes. So stick around if you want to be in for the giveaway. Today will be a subscriber giveaway, so we've been alternating them, non-sub and sub, instead of doing them on the same day.
Yeah.
I've been doing it every other day. So yesterday was an open one, today's a sub one. But anyway, that is that, guys. So if you're watching this on the recording, thank you, and we'll see you next week right here on The Pull.
Woo!